Welcome to another episode of Mind Thump, your number one source for interesting content to feed your brain. History has seen some monstrous eruptions of volcanoes, from Mount Pinatubo's weather-cooling burp to the explosion of Mount Tambora, one of the tallest peaks in the Indonesian archipelago. However, today we are focusing on modern-day volcanic eruptions that people have managed to capture on camera. Watching these things erupt reminds you just how powerful Mother Nature is. Before we start today's list, give the video a like if you find this kind of content interesting. Plus, don't forget to subscribe to the channel to be kept up to date with the latest that Mind Thump has to offer. Okay, let's get into these explosive events. Number 10. Sarychev Peak, Russia 2009. Sarychev volcano is one of the most active volcanoes in the Kuril Island chain stretching between Kamchatka and Japan. This volcano had a spectacular eruption between the 12th and 15th of June 2009. A powerful explosion produced a sub-Pinland eruption column 12 to 18 kilometers tall, which injected large amounts of ash into the stratosphere. The plume extended 200 kilometers to the southwest and 105 kilometers to the southeast. The eruption was mainly observed through satellites because Sarychev is not monitored with ground-based instruments. The eruption intensified on the 14th of June, when the column reached 40,000 feet, and on the 15th of June when it peaked at 54,000 feet in altitude. Number 9. Kasatochi, United States, 2008. Kasatochi Island, a portion of small volcanoes in the western Aleutian volcanic arc, erupted on the 7th to 8th of August 2008. Pyroclastic flows and surges swept the island repeatedly and buried most of it and the near shore zone in decimeters to tens of meters of deposits. The eruption lasted for around 24 hours and included 2 initial explosive pulses and pauses over a 6-hour period that produced ash-pour eruption clouds, a 10-hour period of continuous ash-rich emissions initiated by an explosive pulse and punctuated by 2 others, and a final 8-hour period of waning ash emissions. An eruption with a similar impact on the island's environment had not occurred for at least several centuries. Since the 2008 eruption, the volcano has remained quiet other than the emission of volcanic gases. Erosion and deposition are rapidly altering the surrounding slopes and beaches. Number 8. Chaiten, Chile, 2008. Chaiten is a small volcano located in southern Chile, on the west coast of South America, approximately 150 kilometers east of the Peru-Chile Trench. There is a destructive margin where the denser Nazca Plate is subducted beneath the less dense continental lithosphere of the South American Plate. As the plate descends, it causes earthquakes in the Benioff zone, and volcanoes occur here because of the melting of the plate in the asthenosphere. Chaiten is also part of the world's longest fold mountain chain, the Andes Mountains, which are crumpled up by the tectonic forces pushing these 2 plates together. In this southern part of the subduction zone, the oceanic plate dips at a steep angle, while the northern end may be experiencing flat slab subduction, in which the oceanic slab slides beneath the continental plate at a very low angle. This low angle of subduction may explain the relative lack of volcanic activity in the northern part of Chile, compared to the extremely active southern volcanic mountains, which was the cause of the Chaiten eruption. Number 7. Mount Okmok, United States, 2008. Nearly a month after its initial eruption on July 12, 2008, Okmok volcano in Alaska's Aleutian Islands remained active. On August 3, 2008, the volcano sent a column of volcanic ash skyward, according to the Alaska Volcano Observatory. The AVO reported that seismic tremors on the volcano were associated with ash emissions. A plume of volcanic ash streams from the volcano's summit, blowing towards the southwest. Southeast of the volcano, an ash cloud hovers above the ocean. This ash cloud likely results from an earlier volcanic plume that was blown to this area before the winds changed direction and began pushing ash towards the southwest. Unlike the soft, fluffy material that results from burning vegetation, volcanic ash is not really ash at all, but microscopic shards of rock and volcanic glass. It is highly abrasive and slightly corrosive. Number 6. Rabaul, Papua New Guinea, 2006. A volcano in eastern Papua New Guinea erupted in 2006, disrupting flights and spewing rocks and ash into the air. Mount Tavarora on New Britain Island erupted, forcing local communities to evacuate. Officials said that there were no reported deaths or injuries. Local residents of the island's Rabaul district were advised at the time to remain indoors to avoid the falling ash. Australia issued travel warnings against visiting the island. Papua New Guinea lies on the Pacific Ring of Fire and is home to several active volcanoes. The same volcano destroyed Rabaul town in 1994 when it erupted simultaneously with nearby Mount Vulcan. One hotel manager, Rodney Uwa, stated some people closed their businesses and were moving to areas as far away as possible. The police are also there to make sure looting doesn't happen, again like in 1994. Number 5. Manam, Papua New Guinea, 2004. Manam volcano, located 13 kilometers off the northern coast of New Guinea, near Boga town, is one of Papua New Guinea's most active volcanoes. It has one of the longest records of historic eruptions in the Pacific region. The larger eruptions of Manam produce pyroclastic flows and sometimes lava flows. Both have repeatedly reached the coast and affected populated areas. A large series of eruptions began at Manam in November and December of 2004, forcing evacuations from the whole island. 5 people were killed, mostly due to inhaling ash, and 9,600 people were evacuated. The ash damaged crops, water supplies, and houses. The eruption also had an effusive component and generated lava flows flowing into the radial valley. The lava flow followed the Boakur side of the valley and covered the older flows from the 1992 and 1994 eruptions. Number 4. Reventador, Ecuador, 2002. Reventador volcano erupted suddenly on the 3rd of November 2002 after 26 years of inactivity. Lava flows descended along the Montana, Marquez, and Piedrafina ravines, destroying roads and highways and damaging local farms. At 9 a.m. local time, the main phase of the eruption began, producing an ash column rising to 16 to 17 kilometers in height above the summit. 3 to 4 hours later, the ash cloud reached the Inter-Andean Valley and the capital city over 100 kilometers away from the volcano, where it caused almost total darkness in the late afternoon. The ash plume left a layer of fine grey ash up to 3 to 5 millimeters thick everywhere. Heavy ashfall occurred throughout the country and caused the closing of the international airport of Quito. The Trans-Ecuadorian oil pipeline was also shut down. As a precautionary measure, the government of Ecuador declared a local emergency and made preparations for the potential evacuation of 3,000 people from the areas closest to the volcano, specifically from the village of El Reventador. Number 3. Ruang, Indonesia, 2002. Ruang volcano is the southernmost volcano in the Sagin Island arc, north of Sulawesi Island. The 4x5 kilometer island volcano rises to 72 meters across a narrow strait of the larger Telugundang Island. The summit of the Ruang volcano contains a crater partially filled by a lava dome, which was initially emplaced in 1904. Explosive eruptions recorded since 1808 have often been accompanied by lava dome formation and pyroclastic flows that have damaged inhabited areas. Eruptions in 1870 and 1871 also caused fatalities. On the 24th of September 2002, there was an increase in seismicity at the volcano. The following day, continuous ash emissions occurred at the volcano, causing about 1,000 residents of Lianfeti and Pompente villages to be evacuated to a nearby island. Darwin Volcanic Ash Advisory Center reported ash rising to an altitude of 17 kilometers. Number 2. Shiveluch, Russia, 2001. Shiveluch has had over 60 large explosive eruptions during the past 10,000 years. Catastrophic eruptions also took place in 1854 and 1956, where a large part of the lava dome collapsed and created a devastating debris avalanche. It belongs to the Klukavishka volcano group and is about 65,000 years old. Its summit is truncated by a broad 9-kilometer wide caldera of about 10,000 years of age, breached to the south. Many lava domes dot its outer flanks. Widespread tephra layers from Shiveluch eruptions are valuable time markers for dating volcanic events in Camacha. Number 1. Puyehue-Cordón Caulle, Chile, 2011. On a quiet Saturday in 2001, a volcano in the Puyehue-Cordón Caulle chain of south-central Chile erupted after lying dormant for more than 50 years. The government evacuated several thousand residents of Puyehue through ash more than 6 miles into the sky, pushing the plume towards neighboring Argentina. Authorities had already put the area around the volcano on alert after a flurry of earthquakes earlier on Saturday. At one point, the tremors reached an average of 230 per hour. Some of the amazing shots of this eruption show lightning bolts strike around the explosion and an absolutely massive ash and steam cloud, looking like a mushroom cloud that is produced after an atomic explosion. That brings us to the end of this episode. Which of these spectacular events amazed you the most? I don't know about you, but as devastating as these occurrences are, they are simply mesmerising to watch. Let us know your thoughts in the comments section. Remember, if you enjoyed today's video, give it a like so we know to make more for you. Also, if you want to see more content just like this, subscribe to the channel to keep up to date with our latest and greatest videos. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.